to it. Salute, salute, salute. Peace and power, peace and power. I thank the universal truth and the absolute laws of nature for guiding me, protecting me, and giving me the strength to endure the imperfect. I shall attack with vigor, making progressive moves. A divine mind knows, a divine mind shows. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. All things work in divine order. Peace and power to the people of the struggle. Salute, salute, salute. How you doing? We just heard that a tornado touched down in Brooklyn. Salute, salute, salute. King Pooty TV, what up? Tony G, you here on time. Yes, indeed. Look at Sade. Look at Sade. My classroom assistant right there. Look at Carol. Look at Carol. Look at Mark. Look at Hakim. GB. Angel. Salute. We got Ghoster up in here. Stop playing. Stop playing. Dr. Sebastian Longstaff. Salute. You knew the class. Never had no doctors in the class. You knew the class. Hey, lovely lady. You sure been skipping a lot. You sure been skipping a lot. Hampton Mall. Bruh. Shine. Yeah, tornado touched Brooklyn. That's what they reporting. Ken. What up, what up? Mario. I thought you failed out of class. Mario, as you come on in, know that this is a safe space. Know that this is a space for learning, for educating. Know that this is a safe space. This is a space for intelligence, for unity, for love of self and love of others. Know that this is a space where we are looking for solutions on this path to liberation. Huh? People of the universal truth. Salute, salute. Oh, we got Brown Girl. She must not be doing the extras today. She in the spot. My classroom assistants, please put the green screen in the chat for the duration of the chat. Cause yeah, we gonna get to it. We have to get to it. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of things. Jay, what up? I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot. I'm hearing a lot. And it's time to get some clarity on some stuff here. It is. Because people are all in the uproar. They all up in their chests about Gille and cheese. Yeah, they up in their chests. Okay? Metal Face, salute. Rizzo? You sure missed a couple of classes. You've been cutting a little bit. Yeah. My eagle eye. I spy with my eagle eye some folks that ain't been in class. Yeah. What up, Intelligent Mind Smith? Peace. Yeah. Listen, people all up in their chests about Gille. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala please open the gates and bless Jesus' essence, soul, his spirit. Embrace him and welcome him. Okay? My brother Greg Bonham, day one. Salute for the green screen. Okay? YouTube. Discipline gang leader. What up? Okay? So yeah, I want to get that in initially. And we'll get back to that. Right? He had an Islamic funeral. Okay? So we all extend our deepest condolences and we ask the universe to send our strength and universal healing to that family. We understand that. Especially me. I understand it. I've worked in the gang violence, gun violence, all type of initiatives. I've been in the emergency room, consoling families, providing services, right there in the spot, right there, in the ER. I know what it looks like. I know what the victim looks like. I know what the parents, the families, the loved ones look like. So of course, I can speak from that perspective. Very empathetic, right? However, truth is truth, and truth is simultaneous. Truth is simultaneous. It happens at the same time, right? At the same time, people in my class, this class, may think my brown skin is handsome. But at the very same time, our enemies look at me like I'm a cockroach. Truth is simultaneous. I'm beautiful to one, I'm ugly to the other. It's simultaneous. So we have empathy, but we definitely can use it as a piece, as an educated piece. Okay? To push balance. And that's what I want to get to, because I've heard, I've seen, I've watched, people have sent me a lot of clips, a lot of statements about what it is that we should be speaking on and should not be speaking on. What is news? What is content? Okay? Hold on, Kenny Mac. Hold on. We have to make sure that we are getting a clear lens when we speaking on this, and I will show you why. I don't listen to that dude to that degree. I really don't. I don't like the tone. I don't like the struggle, intellectual struggle. Some people I can listen to, I know they're smart on their way to being intelligent. Some people are intelligent on their way to being geniuses. If it's something that's remedial, I just can't sit through it. I can't. I have other work to do. However, none of us should not be able to extract truth from specific things. There is a truth to that man. There is a truth to him. There is. It's not what we deal with in our class, but there is a level of truth in it. But before we even go there, I want y'all to understand something here. Listen. As I was taught, everything is content. Everything on this screen is content, whether you're using a computer, whether you're using a phone, whether you're using TikTok, whether it is vocal, whether it's artistic, whether it's comic relief type stuff. Okay? It's content. And all of us have been inserted or inserted ourselves in this space. Okay? Let me give you the definition. We're going to define it, since none of us had defined it on our own. We didn't create YouTube. We inserted ourselves in it. And when we did, damn sure wasn't being called content creators. That is not our terminology. That is a terminology that we adopted because we are doing it, because we are here. Okay? We didn't create that. It's like we didn't create rap. We made hip hop. And once these people decided to define it as rap, we inserted ourselves in it in this commercial space. Therefore, when people say that ain't hip hop, right, it's not. It's rap. It's commercial rap. It's globalized rap. We understand when we see hip hop. We know when we see hip hop. So again, we didn't come in this space and create YouTube. We didn't create Facebook. We didn't. All right? We didn't create the term content creators and things like that. That's their term for what people are doing. However, what does content mean in topic? Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Okay? The subject or ideas contained in something written, said, created, or represented. Academic/educational content. When we come in these spaces and you come and you watch me, regardless of what it is that I'm discussing, which becomes content in this platform, I'm responsible for it. It is educational based on who's receiving it. You get me? Based on who's receiving it. Some may dismiss it because it may not be as intellectual as they may be, right? Dr. Tyson. I'm not speaking about Milky Way and atoms and all that, so it might be general conversation to him, and he may not view it as educational. Though somebody who's just coming home or just getting on their feet or just being woke may say, damn, that brother deep, it's solid. Woo! Blew my mind what he said. To them, I may be their top intellectual. But however it is received and by whoever it is received, this is an educational space. This is a class. Okay? So I don't care if you did 2 minutes of research and ran up and through your ability, through your language and how you communicate, you made this piece and its content. Okay. Now when we stretch it deeper, journalism. How do you describe journalism? Journalism is the practice of gathering, recording, verifying, and reporting on information of public importance. Okay? Though these general duties have been historically consistent, the particulars of the journalistic process have evolved as the ways information is collected, disseminated, and consumed have changed. Thus the thumbnail. You see the thumbnail? You see the newspaper stands and the newspaper, the periodicals? That is how we once consumed information. And then the TV was invented and we started watching the news. And that's how information was consumed. But we were highly misrepresented in those spaces because as niggas, they thought we was ignorant and dumb and couldn't speak for our oppressors, right? The non-melanated folks, they didn't think, they didn't believe that we should be Walter Cronkites, right? With our morals. Because they wouldn't listen to us because they knew that pieces of the information was distorted or it wasn't for us. However, fast track now to social media and we don't need them anymore. Therefore, we become journalists to ourselves. So as a content creator, you are journalists regardless of how you present it, if you have an audience, regardless of how much you research, regardless of you just talking Tasha K type gossip, or if you going as deep as Sonetta in them. Do you understand? Or as if you research as thoroughly as Taharka. They're all journalists. Right? Creating content for consumption. Now, follow me. All of the content, the journalistic pieces, whether it's a periodical, whether it was the news, it was all monetized. Don't let that new term of monetize do what they always do. When society catches up, some think tanks say we got to change the definition and the terminology of how people accept or how people know it. It's always been monetized. If you paid a nickel for the daily news, and then when we came up, we paid 35 cents for it, and now it's $3, you paid for the information. So if you are a journalist creating content, regardless of where your audience stands or where you stand, it's going to be monetized, whether it's by you or by YouTube. Because if you don't monetize the video, and if YouTube don't monetize the video, guess what? YouTube's still getting paid. Oh yeah, because your subscribers also are subscribers of YouTube who get paid through whatever service provider you got, whether it's AT&T, T-Mobile, so it's all monetized. So who is anybody to tell you who, what, where, when, or why to report on? Don't get quiet. Don't get quiet. Because since our history, right? Our story is facts and history is fabricated, right? And now we have the opportunity to speak our truth on these little platforms using this technology and the issues that we know about are presenting themselves in real time in an event. Something as serious as gun violence, something as big as one of our MCs who transitioned to podcasts, who transitioned to getting these big deals with Wayne, loses their son, and we not supposed to talk about that? Makes no sense. If that's the case, get off of YouTube. Get off of social media. I was taught everything in this space is content. And if we're not going to speak our truth, our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, then what are we doing? You want to censor yourself? That's not too intelligent. Because even in the content of you not saying anything about it, even in the content that you created, critiquing others who spoke about it, somebody's getting monetized. Somebody's getting paid from it. is a problem now. Us not saying, not speaking the truth in real time. So are we creating content, or we just here bullshitting? Salute, J. Rogers. What are we doing? Annette, tell them what we doing, Annette. Are we journalists creating content, providing information to our people, or are we not? Or are we not? Because the excuse that I'm hearing is that man lost his son. Everybody lost their son. A lot of people I've held on my shoulder, in my chest, and in my emergency rooms, they were somebody's son. I'm somebody's son. So we can talk about everybody else, but not that? Not that. And I've been talking about that for 15 years. Gun violence, unnecessary, in our communities. And I'm going to stop now for what? So we can't talk about that, but we could talk about Magic son EJ. We could talk about D Wade's son. We could talk about Denzel's son. But we can't talk about that plagues every urban community, every suburban community where we at. We can't talk about that. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. We talked about Nipsey, Hermes. He was somebody's son. We talked about Golf. He's somebody's son. We talked about Pop Smoke, Tupac, Biggie. All of them were somebody's sons. All of them. There are people who made billions talking about Pac and Big to this day. They were someone's sons. You can't cherry pick this shit here. Truth is truth. Information is information. Does that information transfer into strategy? Does that information transition into love of self so it can be prevented? Ain't nothing gonna stop if we don't talk about that. And it is not gonna stop if we just talk. They in their feelings because they feel he just got to the bag. They in their feelings of how it went down. They trying to make sense of it. And when you're making an attempt to make sense of it, this right here, your belief system triggers what you believe in, triggers your emotions. It's a trigger. So because people are emotionally triggered to the trauma, because of the event. Now they're either extremely sad or extremely fearful. So they get angry and say, don't talk about it. They tell a rape victim, don't talk about it. They tell a soldier, don't talk about it. Because they're emotionally triggered. Nah. You talk about it. That's what you do. Let me make this clear. Everybody talking about he's a Muslim. Because I even heard the chubby kid from the BX told me he didn't know that they were Muslims. I already said it many times. The majority, maybe 70 to 80% of our melanated people in the city of Philly follow the Islamic faith. So if you are of that faith, you're supposed to know that regardless of if somebody claims it and states it out their mouth, everyone is Muslim, whether they know it or not. So I'm not hearing that shit that Chubby's saying. Because regardless if you knew or not, you should assume that. Because when they become in your presence, you're going to speak to them as if they are of the Islamic faith. You're going to treat them as such. Because they don't know that they are followers of the faith. That is your duty. But in saying that, how can anyone get that assumption if when they're on the platform that they got the bag for, I didn't hear them speak about hadith. I didn't hear them speak about everyday fiqh. I didn't hear that. Neither did a whole bunch of millions of people who follow that platform. So what are we talking about? So what are we saying? See how chasing the bag again distracts you from your progress? Why didn't that bag that was acquired, why wasn't that utilized to push the faith? If that's what they stood tall on. That wasn't something that was outwardly known to everybody. I made the assumption that they were of the Islamic faith. Especially after doing all that time. I believe that. I made that assumption because I know Philly. But looking at them praise each other with foreign whips that cost $500,000, you couldn't tell that, could you? So the bag didn't help push the hadith, did it? Did it? Again, if this is what we are doing, how do you allow the euro to push you away from your deen? How? How? DJ Khaled, what? He go to Grippergate parties. Okay? Let's just put the brakes on that. Let's talk with sense. Let's talk with sense. There ain't no emotions here. Not in this class. Not in this class. You know, emotional pieces. We deal with intellect here. Make it make sense. No halfways in that. When you follow in that faith, you follow that faith. Okay? Simple as that. And, again, since we're speaking on people who got to the bag for creating content and being journalists, Al Jazeera. Okay? Takes information, makes it newsworthy, travels the globe in a space of journalistic integrity, and they get a bag for it. So, all this pushing back and forth and all that, we're going to stop that. We're going to stop that. We need to speak. And keep speaking like I do, whether I'm speaking about a certain topic or not. Unnecessary gun violence in our communities is always in my language. Always. Been talking about it. Therefore, when people keep falling and keep dropping, I treat it just like anything else. I get into my zone. How can we speak on healing? That empathy piece. Listen, how do we proceed from here? But it gets spoke on in content. And if we get monetized, that ain't up to us. At any time, YouTube could say, nah, that ain't getting monetized. You don't have control over that. I don't have control over that. Simple as that. That's how this shit work. We don't own it. Now, we speaking on sons. Bronny James' son, Bronny James. Young man. Just getting out of high school. Collapses at practice. Father is in tip-top shape. As far as we know, he was in tip-top shape. As far as we know, goals on getting to the league. As far as we know, doesn't abuse any substances. As far as we know, don't smoke nicotine or drink. How does this happen? How does it happen? Why does it happen? Okay? Maybe there's a lot of pressure and a lot of stress. But I just want to know, when I was 18, I was boxing Golden Gloves. I went in the Army. I boxed in the Army and ran PT with my company. Sometimes I had to run PT with my company early in the morning, perform my duties. After the last formation, go about 20 miles to another U.S. base and run with my boxing coach, do drills, and spar. And at that time, I was drinking. How does somebody who grew up with a silver spoon in their mouth who we assume is eating right, who we assume is getting a lot of nurturing love in the home. How does this young man collapse? As far as we know, there wasn't no ailments, right? What's happening here? And I don't want to just stay there with Bronny, right? It's fresh. It's just happening. So we right there. And again, it is only because of who he is, right? It's only because of who he is. But this has been going on for the last 3-4 years. The athletes, not regular athletes at the top of their game in all sports, are dropping. Not, oh, he tore his ligament. Yo, his meniscus. We talking about old people ailments. Or people who were born with defects. We're talking about people who are transitioning. We're talking about people who are having blood clots. We're talking about people who are having heart problems. Top athletes. Then we just losing one of them sisters from the Olympics. 23, 24. This man is 18. 18. You didn't even get a good piece of vagina yet. 18? So again, I gotta tell people, the bag, it is what it is. It's your belief, your decision on it. But that don't always mean that it brings happiness. That doesn't always mean forever happy, forever no issues. It just doesn't. But that seems to be everyone's aim, everyone's aspiration. Yo, I got to get to the bag. Because then everything will be able to be handled. Because I got the bag, I don't care about nothing else. Yeah, Sean. Yeah. Shaq's son fell. And what happened? He sat his ass down. He sat his ass down. I'm too old to believe in irony. That's not ironic that listen, I take screenshots every day. So many that I cannot post them of athletes who have transitioned, damn, just this year alone. Younger than 25. Younger than 25. I'm too old. Listen, I'm 54. Yeah, and tell MC Shan I'm 54. Hold on, let me get up close. Let me repeat it again. I'm 54. Okay? Never had a bag in my life. Even in the street, I done touched a lot of paper. But the shit that they got, that they touch, never. But consistent struggle. No security whatsoever. None. I have homies, day ones, associates who have transitioned. I got youngins that transitioned 40, 45. I got people that I watched from the day they was born. Transition already. Alcohol, drugs, stress, gun violence. So you mean to tell me it makes sense that somebody that is away from all of that collapses on a court? Some of them collapsing in practice. Some of them collapsing during the games. Some of them collapsing just out with their family. That makes sense. These are tip-top shape. Come on. And then I want y'all to just ask yourself, do you think LeBron is thinking about the bag at that time? Do you think Gille is thinking about the bag? Because when my mom's was transitioning, last thing I thought about was some money. At all. I was in a hospital every day. 6 months, all day, every day until she took her last breath. On parole with no job, nothing. Wasn't thinking about no bag. Bag couldn't have brought her back. Thought about what she meant to me, and I wasn't going to be able to speak to her no more. That's important. Salute, Jeff Spark. Thank you for coming to class. So let's put these things into perspective. Because there's not an issue that we go through that I cannot directly tie to our oppressor, our oppressive conditions, and the generational trauma, toxicity that comes with that. Ain't no bag getting you out of it. Nadine Rogers, salute. London in the house. Okay? That's where we at with it. That's where we have to be with it. We dealing with truth. We don't bullshit in this class. We don't. We don't. Okay? Let me get to this next piece. And by the way, before I even leave, when we talking about these sons and all this, I always knew Gille as Gille the Kid. Where's this Gille the King come from? Where did that come in? I know I was up top and away. I know he was away from the industry for a good minute. Since I've been seeing him, it's been Gille the Kid. Where is Gille the King? When did it happen? And what's really good with it? Help me out. for a few years now? When? Because in social media, in his titles, and listen, I looked it up. Gille the Kid, when I did a YouTube search, Gille the Kid, 4.5 thousand vids, 1.8 thousand channels. Hold on. Gille the King is only 738 vids. So how long? Y'all saying a few years? How long? Only on 354 channels. 738 vids is the King piece. So the Kid, he been running with that. So he used both. He in and out with it. Because when I seen the Philly news and they saying the King, I'm like, the King? Got you, Gogon. At one point he started calling, so then he was calling himself that, then he got away from it. So he been in and out with it. Because I never heard it. And never seen it when he's part of major figures, none of that. It's always been the Kid. So with the King, so it's an in and out thing. Because that's what they're using on Philly news. Okay? Just wonder. I wanted my clarity on it. Because I didn't do it. Like I said, I don't follow them like that. But when the news reporter said it, I was getting ready to go in. What's her name? Natasha. This is Natasha. The anchor desk from CBS Philly. Gille the King. I was like, what? And then Dan Snyder. Yeah, yes, Natasha. We were here at the funeral. Gille the King. I said, the King? Got you. Got you. Again, that's not far from my lane. Now, again, I appreciate people in my class, even some of my classroom assistants, which YouTube want to call moderators. I appreciate when you send me things. Again, I tell you, I follow and see almost everything on social media. When I miss something and somebody hits me in the DM or message me something, I usually respond with a thank you, or one of the emojis or whatever. Excuse me. So people are talking about this Ice Cube revealing, pointing, exposing the gatekeepers. And when I get things like that, and it's from nobody specifically, just everybody in general, okay? I'm not speaking to nobody specifically, but Cube ain't saying shit. Absolutely nothing that hasn't been said at all by anybody that's in the woke community, anybody in the conscious community. We've been Cube himself in his first 2 solo albums told you who it was, who they are, how they move. Tribe Called Quest done said it, X-Clan done said it. We know this. So for this new Cube is exposing, pray for Cube and all this shit. Miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the bullshit. He's not saying nothing new. Sonetta done told you who the gatekeepers were. Yeah, old booty munching polite. He done told you who the gatekeepers were. Professor Griffo, everybody, man. This is not new. It's not. Stop acting like it's new. he exposing. He didn't expose shit. When he was 18, 19, okay, he wrote those albums. Death Certificate, Kill It Will, right? America's Most. Ancient and No Vaseline. He broke Jerry Heller down. Nobody he told this is not. Why are we acting like that? So now, everybody's moving in a space where he's being so prolific. Regurgitating information that he said. And Kenny Mack, I'm going to grant you this. The younger generation may not know. And I doubt he's talking to them because he's not connecting with them. He ain't putting none of them on no record. He ain't put too many of them in no film. And those are not the people who are sending this stuff to me. Our generation is sending it to me like he's saying something that I ain't said. And continuously say the shit that I get called extra radical for, you militant. No, we got to get your bag. You got to be more marketable. But he could say this shit and it's prolific. Get that shit out of here. Because he said it at 18 and 19. Now, again, I told y'all that I kept a diary. This is my diary from 86 to 88, just so I could pass English and get out of school on time. Right? February 86 to 88. So if you haven't caught that class, go back to my videos. And I probably did it in a Saturday night book club, but I told you about it. So here's a little letter, a little notation when I was in the service. This is when I was in the army. Dated February 10th, 89. February 10th, 89. 3 days before my birthday in 89. Right? In Germany. Young Islamic lad. In there. And it says, yo, read it now. Give me a second. Yo, I was just talking with the posse. As you see, I'm not bullshit. That's the terminology, right? The posse. So you know this is 89, okay? Yo, I was just talking with the posse because that's how I speak to myself in my diary, right? With the posse, and somehow we got on politics. This new medic, a brother from, not going to blow it up because our people know who he is. Brother from such and such, I'll just say out of state, name such and such, said something about Gaddafi. He said that Gaddafi was the enemy. Well, I told him that I would work for Gaddafi in a heartbeat. Now, this is me, 19 years old. Right? And I would work for Gaddafi in a heartbeat. He got upset and couldn't believe it. I told him that if the U.S. ever declared war on the Middle East, I would go AWOL. For the simple fact that I would not kill a brother, not for the U.S. especially. He said that Gaddafi was a terrorist. Then I said, who told you that? The media? That the devils run? He didn't want to talk about it anymore. He wanted to leave it at that end point. If I worked for Gaddafi, he would have to shoot me. Now, this is what this young boy said. We're both 18, 19. This is what he's telling me now. He would have to shoot me. And at that time, I got upset. Not letting him know, though. I asked, you would kill a brother for these states? And he said, if I had worked for Gaddafi, yes. I know that brother has no knowledge of self. I knew that he had no knowledge of self, but not to that extent. Okay? The society we live in has the brothers thinking that America is all in all good and all those who oppose is our enemy. F America. If the country is so good, why does every other country hate it? How come no American is really safe in any other country? Never really welcome. F America and all who represent it. I would never die for it. 18. And 18 in the service already. I read some of that shit sometimes. I'm like, whoa. This is how I was writing at 18? Really? Already in opposition to what they were doing? That's 89. That's 89. Same year Cube was writing that stuff. So I don't get it. I don't do it. I don't get impressed. I'm not new woke. I was raised in this shit. Well read. Utilizing whatever I could to go against it, to try to fit in it, to do. None of it worked. It don't work. When you got your lens and your shit on, it don't work. You can't be swayed by the bullshit. So when y'all saying this is the shit that Cube is saying, I'm like, I'm scratching my head. Like, hold on. This is the same man. He's telling you that those who own the record labels own private prisons. What does he think the owners and investors in the big three have? You think the investors in the big three don't own private prisons? You think Hollywood executive producers don't own that ain't they people's too? So where's the shit? Why are you shifting the goalposts? You mean to tell me, because I'm going to tell you something. There is no major sports team owner. If it is, it's one or two. They got everything that built their fortune on just a sports franchise, just a sports team. Them dudes is gone. They all were businessmen. They all global entrepreneurs and had that wealth and bought into a team, bought the team. So them dudes are no different than these record company executives. When you watch the credits of a movie and you don't know who these people are and why they have so many of them, those are the money people. You say executive producer, produced by, producers. You got 3 or 4 of them. Then you got another set of producers. You got like 12 producers. That's the money. That's the money. And their money is tied up into the same 1% that he is saying owns record companies. Their money up there is longer than those who just own record companies. They talking about big Hollywood, big industry. They talking about Murdoch and all them. And they the same ones that invest in the big 3. So what is he talking to you about? What is he exposing? When they gonna start exposing themselves? Huh? You gonna tell me that Hollywood money ain't gonna go get some of that prison money? You gonna mean to tell me that dude is sitting at a record label saying, yo, man, I'm getting mad bread off this prison shit, and you gonna tell me Hollywood execs and Hollywood producers, MGM, Paramount, they not gonna say, yo, hold on, we need some of that bread too. We the ones that's putting the pain in. We the one that's taking these actors and making them rappers and getting money from that. We can't get none of that jail money too. Come on, Cube. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. Can't switch €1 for the next. Huh? Big money euro? What? Nah. Huh? Same octopus, different tentacle. Stop acting like Cuban and told y'all something, man. At least y'all can have that discussion amongst yourself. Don't come to me with this shit. My lens is sharp. I'm not impressed. I've been saying it for a long time. Many others have been saying it for a long time. So he gonna come hard on the record industry and not hard on the sports? Not hard on big oil? Not hard on coal and textiles? Not hard on Wall Street? They backed his films. You gonna tell me not one film that Ice Cube has made over 2 decades was funded by anybody that had anything to do with private prisons? Because my thing is, if you could speak for the Euro, you too close to them. I don't, man, you can't speak for us. They trust you. You can speak for them. You can for certain say that them Euros that fund your films, them big 3s and them arenas and all them corporation stickers and trademarks, that none of them is benefiting from the prisons? Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So I don't get impressed by it. Thank you, but no thank you. Not impressed by that shit. But it's viral, so I understand. And I get why people send it to me. But he ain't exposing shit to me. At all. At all. But again, who am I? Small dude, small subscription base, broke as hell, right? Somebody who got integrity and love his people. That's it. I don't want to be listened to. You dig? I don't know shit. I've been at it for 15, 20 years. I don't know nothing. I done lived it, but I don't know nothing. You dig what I'm saying? So again, I appreciate y'all for sitting through class, giving me your ear, exchanging your energy with me. Appreciate that. All my classroom assistants, yo, let's get it out. Let's grow the class. Grow the class. You dig what I'm saying? So we could get some type of resource. So we could keep continuing the work. Okay? Definitely. And until later on, because you see it's very early. Okay? It's very early. You know, might have to touch something else. Because it's been real busy lately. Yeah, people doing a lot of shit out there. Might come back later. Salute, 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 peace and power. All peace and power to the people of the struggle. Don't believe in me. Believe in my belief in you. Believe in my belief in you. Yeah, it's storming in Brooklyn too. Queen D, where you been? We done had a tornado touchdown. Salute.